Hello, welcome to the latest episode of Through the Pages. I appreciate you checking out my videos. If you like book reviews or just books or just want to help a little YouTuber out, hit the subscribe, do a like for me, maybe a comment even, all three. Okay, today we're getting into latest autobiography from Angela Davis. This book has been published 3 times. There's a preface from all 3, and it's interesting to think of this book coming out and what it would have meant in the 80s, the 90s, present day, So it starts off real intense, and I don't think this is really spoilers since it's just her life and pretty public knowledge at this point. But so she was a fugitive for a while, and that's where the book starts, and just her process of getting around, getting from one city to another, losing tails, feeling like she's being followed, and this perpetual paranoia of like, oh, I see a bunch of plainclothes people in this room, like I bet they're all cop, like that sort of mind state that she had to live with, and then starting back from the beginning and working up to like what led to that. So what I liked a ton about it. What I think I liked most about it is her openness with where her mind was at politically, and that it's not something of like, I turned 22 and I found my party and I stuck with it. Like, she knew Republican and Democrat Party weren't for her. There were smaller fractions coming up. Communist Party was kind of leading the way in them in a sense, but she wasn't full on board. And throughout it, her discussion of her kind of like, I'm getting closer to aligning with that, but now there's this other party here, and I really liked how it felt like she wasn't reactionary at all in her decisions politically in any sense. It felt like they were all very principled. And I think that's something that's missing these days, where we want to do the right thing or kind of go with the flow in the right way, but you have to look through your own lens, and that should be honed through principles, and that is what allows us to make sense of confusing or new issues. And so I think she does a great job of being very honest about what she understood, what she was learning about, and areas where she felt like she was a blank slate and needed to learn more. And so after today, I just feel like everyone wants to show that I get it, I understand, I'm fully understood in all this. And it's like, we got to be a little bit more open, say like, I don't know, like I'm still learning, I just got into this stuff, like last me in 3 years maybe. And so I feel like she just does a great job of conveying her open-mindedness along with her intuitive brilliance. Like, she early on was already a phenomenal mind when it comes to social issues and organizing and everything that just seemed to be almost natural talents to her. And so I think that duality, especially for someone that's after decades in the movements now, like regarded as such, just like a force to be reckoned with, for her to show like a combination of what was inherent and what came from her learning and her studying abroad and her working with different groups, and being sort of cautious before going headfirst into specific areas in the movement. And the book itself is just captivating. Like, it's a phenomenal story. I think it's eras that are tragically coming back around, or something that we see now, like she was dealing with like McCarthyism and just FBI tampering with things, and it just, so much of it comes from a place of wanting to control the narrative, not wanting sides to be seen, and this sort of state-sanctioned censorship that we see now in different ways. And it's just a fascinating tale from someone who is involved in so much change, so much of her life being in prison, out of prison, around the judicial system, and how all of that affected her in the present and ongoing up to current day. So she is just a fascinating figure, and I feel like she could write a whole other autobiography, probably 2, that just get caught up from where this one ended. so much of it was sort of wrapped up or leading to the big legal case, which is wholeheartedly understandable because of all the ramifications it had for her life. But like, I hope to see more written from her life, because I think it's a life we could all learn from a lot. And whether you agree with her political views or not, I think it's important to read from people who are like really striving to do the best for everyone. And that's what I saw from her, is that it wasn't about like, I'm trying to take back what I think is mine. I'm trying to do this just for my people. I'm trying to, it's this wholly equitable approach. And that's why I think we get so divided in culture war issues that it's easy to lose that, but it takes such strength to maintain it. And I think that's why federal forces or even just people were so scared of people like her, because of the unifying nature of them between black and brown and white people, to get those who are just basically not of the ruling class together, you know, that recognizing like, as much as we can pull race into this, class issues are where we have the common ground and can work against these systems that do perpetuate race issues as well, but we do that together. And she was just a powerful force. This book is incredible. It's one of those books where like you finish it and you're just like, I just want to read everything she's written. And like, so I read 2 other books from her, both phenomenal. This is the longest for sure. One was her little, very small, Our Prison's Obsolete. The other one is Women, Race, and Class. And you could definitely see a little bit more of the communist theory in that one, I would say. And I really enjoyed it because it's such an expanded view from what we get anywhere else. I just don't think in politics, in certainly any mainstream places, or even just a lot of like day-to-day conversation, the worldview is pretty narrow. You know, the range of what we're allowed to see is pretty concise, and I think that she really thought outside the box well, or helped get the philosophies outside of the box out to more people. And so I feel like her education and perseverance just like connected with me, and it's just wild to think of like how many people she's connected with in this way over the years. So phenomenal autobiography, one of my favorite biographies I've ever read. Definitely read that one.